His teammates Rod giving him dome. They're hitting it. Now the whole team is booked for rape charges.
Yeah.
Duke lacrosse.
Yep.
Duke lacrosse. That was a Jake woman.
Exactly.
There's a Jake woman who tried to get the whole team, and this shit they got off.
Right.
No problem.
They got off and they got off.
Thank you, Vince.
Yeah, but let that be a Jake team, man.
Yeah.
That's countless news stories and articles about how Jakes get pinched.
Yeah. Exactly.
Brother got something.
You got something?
No, I was just gonna say something.
This Proverbs chapter 22 and 6, it says, "Train up a child in the way he should go, and when he is old, he shall not depart from it." And basically, Esau knows that. That's why he starts that predictive programming. He starts that shit when
you're little.
When you're at a young age, your mind is moldable. You know, you easily influence. You know, but if you got your parents in there, and you know that bullshit is hard because when you're a parent and you in this truth and you know what's going on in this world, it's hard. It's a hard thing to shelter your kids from that. It's impossible, pretty much. It's impossible, man. You like, how the fuck do you know how to even say Christmas? You know what I'm saying? I ain't got no Christmas shit in here. How the fuck you learn that shit? You know what I'm saying? Then you can cussing out your woman and shit. Like, what the fuck? What the hell is going on when I ain't here? You know what I'm saying? So, you know, this devil, he sets up so many
avenues.
You know, avenues of where evil can be where evil can flourish, man.
So you turn on the TV for 2 seconds, you gotta turn the shit off.
Yeah, you gotta turn this shit off. Like, yeah.
Oh yeah, you watch TV.
Hell,
We don't watch
shit.
TV, basically.
Yeah.
May watch some shit without commercials. Watch some anime.
And I know I always mention this, but Hitler said that he who controls the children, fucking, you should have been a cop. That fucking motorcycle fucking up. She went to school. Just go ahead and crash, bitch. But basically you got Hitler that say he who controls the youth controls the future. So the so-called white man, he passed laws to where you gotta make your child has to go to his school. First of all, when you have your child, because you signed a birth certificate, your child has become a ward of the state. So under that law, you have to send your children to their school system to learn their curriculum. If you don't send your kids to their school system and you try to homeschool your child, they'll come and take your child away. Hey, there's no way this so-called white man, by any means necessary, do not want you raising up your children to teach your children who they are. That's the reason why you got the scripture in Sirach. If you grab that, it says he that teaches his child will grieve his enemy. You know, this so-called white man wants you sending your children to his school system so he can brainwash them. So he can teach them all manner of foolishness and things that's not gonna save them. Hey, when you read the laws or the book of the law, Deuteronomy and Leviticus, hey, the Most High constantly tell us that you should pass down this word to your children, and your children should to their children, and to their children's children. You know, because this is the only thing that will help and benefit us. And first of all, you shouldn't have to go to school to learn how to be an engineer or anything like that, man.
Dad's supposed to teach you.
The only reason why you're going there is so that they can teach you how to be a slave in their society, but in a good slave. You know, you gotta learn how to be a good slave to the T, because if you're not, you'll fuck up their money. But in our kingdom, it's not gonna be like that, man. Each man's gonna have their own plot of land. They're not going to have to go to a school system. And what proves that? In Jeremiah 31 and 31. It says that they shall no longer teach men saying, fear the Lord, man. Because all of the knowledge is already going to be in them. But living in this so-called white man system, it's complete opposite.
I'm going to get this free. This is Sirach chapter 30, verse 3. He that teacheth his son grieveth the enemy, before his friends he shall rejoice of him. Though his father die, yet is he as though he were not dead, for he hath left one behind him that is like himself.
Which means that he's going to follow in the steps of his father. You know, when King David died, Solomon did that all the way up until the time that he fell in love with those older women.
The bitches.
But basically, he followed in his father's footsteps. That's the reason why he had peace throughout his reign. Even his name was called Solomon. You know.
Hey, but you go to school.
Oh yeah, nah, I was just gonna answer that. Like, you know, as far as the school system, you know, being teaching you how to be a slave or whatnot. You know, they had that bullshit career day and what's the other thing? It's like
Field day.
what is it?
Field day
I
or
forget, but basically, you know, they have one thing, you know, where police officers. And
career day,
they come in. You know, that what
I got
plants
suspended that
idea
day.
in the children's mind, like, oh yeah, they don't even know what the fuck they want to do, but once they see these examples, they like, all right, well yeah, I want to be a police officer too. They're not even knowing what they getting into. They don't know the danger of this, that, and the other. You know what I'm saying? And or I think like you were saying, maybe field day or some shit.
Yeah, career day, shit like that.
The child will go to the fathers or to the parents, place of work.
Oh yeah, parents.
Now they might see a faggot. They might see a tranny coming.
And it's just bullshit. Instead of like teaching them how to attract money to themselves, you just teach them from early on how to be a slave. Because the parents, they just working at a 9-to-5 job. They not they not an entrepreneur, nothing like that. So it's just bullshit begin more bullshit.
That's why they had that Baphomet statue. They showed the kids next to it.
Yeah, kind of.
Brother
got one of those down here?
Hey, this is
they got rid of
because
it.
don't get it wrong. In Israel we had colleges, but it wasn't. What example we're making is that it's not the way that Esau's colleges is now. We had schools and colleges, but basically it was all about knowledge, man. It wasn't about bullshit, right? Now in the kingdom of heaven, I'll just read it. This is Galatians 4:1. It says, "Now I say that the heir, as long as he is a child, differeth nothing from a servant, though he be Lord of all, but is under tutors and governors until the appointed time of the Father." So even in the kingdom, our children are going to be under tutors. We're not going to sit around and teach our children, but it's not going to be like Esau's school system where you take like 50 badass kids and you pack them inside of a room. Of course they ain't gonna learn nothing. You might have a tutor, one tutor to each child. And basically what's going to happen is that child is going to take all of that knowledge in because he's not going to have a bunch of distractions. But they make it this way on purpose. In the Esau school system, they'll pack about 50, 60 kids in one classroom and have one teacher over them. And all of these kids are just running buck wild. And none of them are not learning anything.
No, it's worse than the
But and then they got something called No Child Left Behind. So they'll pass the kids along anyway. They're just grooming slaves, man. That's it.
Hell yeah, they'll pass you behind if you got all E's.
Yeah, I got
You got all E's, but you pass the class.
But yeah, this is this is a example of, like the brothers. Quote that scripture again.
It was Galatians 4:1.
Galatians 4:1. Match that with Acts chapter 22, verse 3. It says, "I am verily a man." This is Paul speaking. Which am a Jew. All right, born in Tarshish, a city in Cilicia, yet brought up in the city at the feet of Gamaliel, and taught according to the perfect manner of the law of the fathers, and was zealous towards Yahweh, as ye all are this day. So he had a tutor. He wasn't in a classroom full of kids where he can't get one-on-one attention. All right, there's no way to train. There's no way to train children up, especially now if you want to train up what you call microwave batteries or microwave bodies, sheep, kids just to be there and just to be slaves for your society. You know what I'm saying? Copper tops. That's the perfect way to do it. But anybody in their right mind wouldn't raise their child, send them to a school where the classes are 30 children in one classroom. You know damn well every child is not getting the attention that it needs. All right, so our people, this is our history. We knew that. We knew better. Even some of those schools over there, they don't have classrooms that big. Like you know what I'm saying? So I got this article right here, and it speaks of it's called Education Week. That's the site. It says 10 reasons the U.S. education system is failing. It says, once upon a time, enthusiasts designed a formal education system to meet the economic demands of the Industrial Revolution. That's what they made this education system for. We have to get them ready to know what to do so we can put them out in the field and make money off of them. you know, to build our products
Car companies,
and make money. So
steel plants.
so that's why we went down there. They had the child labor laws.
Yeah,
which that's coming. You know, that's coming soon. You know,
hence the Industrial Revolution, which was the big boom. You know, you got all of these factories now, right? Which I'm gonna take it back a little further, right? When you go back to slavery, you had these slaves where all you had to do was just whip them in the back, and all they had to do was pick cotton. You know, pick cotton or chop down sugar cane. You know, but now here it is. Hence, what we did was emancipate those slaves. So we transferred those slaves, because the word emancipate means to transfer. We transferred those slaves from the South to the North, because when they had the Emancipation Proclamation, a lot of the slaves went from the North, to the South, from the South to the North. So now you got the Industrial Revolution that's going on. Now we gotta educate these slaves, because this ain't just no dumb slave. This ain't just no slave movement like we had in the past. So now these slaves gotta be intelligent a little bit. So let's teach these slaves how to do these jobs. You know?
Yeah. So and it says where was I? It says, it seems apparent that the now established education system is unable to meet the needs of our hyper-connected society, a society that is not in a constant state of evolution. Let's examine 10 problems that prevent the U.S. education system from regaining its former preeminence, right? Because the reason, really, they don't want it to do that. You know, it's sabotage.
Now, let me say one thing too that sabotages too. Is because one thing about you learn about in school is, first of all, when you go to school, you're supposed to have one teacher. Really, you go to by the time you get to middle school, right? By the time you get to middle school, you got what, 7 different teachers teaching you all different shit. You go to school for what, about like 8 hours a day, 7 hours a day. Now imagine how much stuff you could be learning if you was really actually learning stuff that actually would benefit you, that you actually use in life, and how much stuff you don't learn in school. Like, this is not designed to actually educate you. It's designed to have you assimilate you, program you.
They don't even teach you how to do taxes.
Right,
School,
right, yeah. They got some business classes. They got
like economics and stuff like that.
You got to take 1 year.
1 year, 1 year.
That should have been all year, because when you go to the stores,
really
these damn Arabs, they teach their kids how to get that register, how to count that money.
Yeah.
You know, that's
They
how
don't
you
even
do it.
speak English.
You ain't done. I got a scripture real quick, y'all. This is Proverbs 22:6. It says, train up a child in the way he should go, and when he is old, he will not depart from it. So you got Arabs, they teaching their kids from the beginning. We should be able to teach our children from the beginning. We should be able to take our children, and take them and teach them hunting. A lot of us don't learn, because when we come up here, our people came up to the north, they didn't have no option to do that really. They went fishing, but just too much, not too many things they knew.
They was worried
to
about
pass
not
down
going back
up.
into slavery.
That's it. They didn't want to go down to that south.
How to survive
How to
without
survive,
slavery, because once they cut us off from, they let us go, what did we do? Some of us went and tried to make it happen with some of the Indians, try to make it happen on our own, but then some of us actually went back to the white man. Like, fuck that, we don't want to go up the north, we want to just stay, we comfortable here, like our people are now. They're comfortable in America, they can't see outside of America, they only see American philosophies. This brother had a question now.
I was just basically wondering, I seen the 12 tribes of Israel and what you guys was teaching. I have a big concern also for our children. And this slavery movement, as you talked about, 1 Corinthians chapter 7 talks about when we was a slave, we were Christ-free man. Now that we're Christ-free man, we do not become slaves of men.
Right.
And the society that we know now have made each and every one of us a slave in a different way, as you guys were saying. So I was wondering, what was your purpose, what was your movement, and did you guys actually literature?
Can you get Ecclesiastes 12, I think 13 to 14?
Gotcha. This is Ecclesiastes chapter 12, verse 13. It says, let us hear the conclusion of the whole matter. Fear the Most High God, Yahweh, and keep His commandment, for this is the whole duty of man. So the brother just said, our whole duty is to fear the Most High power, and Yahweh, that's His real name, and do the commandments, do His laws to the best of our abilities. We're not going to be 100%, but we have to attempt, sincerely attempt. You know what I'm saying? And that's where we get the grace and the mercy from. Right.